Hey guys, John here. So in this video, we're swapping out the 4Runner headlights again for the new Nove G2s by Alpharex that are sitting right there in that box. Let's get into it. Before I open it up, I just want to appreciate this box. So Alpharex tape all on it. Nice logo down here, super shiny sticker too. Unrivaled lighting. Even here too on the side, super easy QR codes for an installation guide and knowing what you bought. And I'll just address these headlights too because I'm sure that I'll get some comments about it. Well, I had these headlights in the 4Runner for about 5 months. I do have a video on it. These are the GTR headlights by Carbide. They were pretty good. They were very focused up front though, and I mentioned it in my videos that they did have quite a bad cutoff like this way. So they're super focused up front, but they did have quite a bad cutoff to them, which I did mention that to them, and then that's why we installed those Morimoto fogs. But the thing that I did like about these was the super bright DRL. The DRL was super bright in these, definitely brighter than the Lux series Alpharex that I had in the past, but these new G2s by Alpharex should be just as bright, if not brighter. So this is the Nove series. I went with all black. Link for it will be down in the description, guys, but just the quality too of their actual box is nice, and it has more Alpharex tape. Tells you which one it is, the Nove right there, and this is gonna be for the left side. And two, when dropping some serious coin for some headlights, you wanna make sure that it's protected and not just, thrown in there. So this nice, like stupid sturdy styrofoam, and then the headlight too is all protected in this bag. And then taking the headlight housing out of the bag, you could see that it is still protected by some extra film right here, so my gosh. Look at that. So what's new with these G2s is their 3D ice cube projectors. So brand new overhaul projector is gonna be super bright. In fact, for the low beam, all 4 of these are on, and then when you flip on the high beams, the 2 outside one comes on, it kind of like flips down to project it brighter. And then also, you could see that the new DRL, so it's not just a tube anymore that was kind of washed out in the daylight, so all of this is your DRL here. We also have some light down here, and the cool thing about it is you can choose it to be amber. So it can be an amber DRL, or by default, it'll be a white DRL. And then these ones are the Nove Alpha Black, so no chrome anywhere with it. We can read Alpharex right here, DOT approved. Man, look at that. And here's a look at the back. So we're gonna utilize all of our OEM harnesses. You can adjust the lights here too. There's your adjustment dial. And then in the box too, we do have some additional harnesses. I actually didn't have to take my bumper off all the way because of the stealth bumper from Cali-Rays. It allows my bumper to flex a little bit, but just be mindful if you're kind of doing that, just of your paint and everything. But there's gonna be 4 10mm bolts to take off a headlight, and a little pop right here. So you pop that off to loosen this up. And then your 4 10mm bolts, one of them is right here. The other one is back behind this stripping right here for the hood. You have a 10mm right there. And then when you come down here to the side, when you pop your bumper out, you have a 10mm right there. And then when you pull this dude out right here, you have one more 10mm right here where my finger's at, right there. So those are the 4 10mm bolts to take it out. Obviously, make sure too that you have all your wiring harnesses out from your OEM headlights. Go ahead, secure them away, clean up this area if you want, and then we will install the Alpharex headlights. And before you install the headlights into the 4Runner, you're gonna have to decide, do you want amber DRLs or do you want white? Because it's a lot easier to mess with this while it's on your table. So if you want amber DRLs, because white comes standard, you're gonna go ahead and take off the dust cap right here. So this dust cap, you see one that has the yellow harness on it. You're gonna do it on both lights. Okay, so we have the yellow harness right here, no harness next to this one. So go ahead and take that dust cap off, and you're gonna see once you take it off, these 2 gray wires hanging out right here. All you have to do is just connect these 2 into each other, and then you will have amber DRLs versus the white light DRL. So again, take that dust cap off. These 2 dudes should just be chilling here. Take them out, connect them together, and then you should have amber DRL. So before putting the lights into the 4Runner housing, just go ahead and take the provided harness too. This harness is gonna connect both lights together. It comes in the bag of one of the headlights. So we're gonna go ahead and take this harness. I went ahead and sent everything through under here, and we're gonna connect the red positive to the battery. Go ahead and make sure that your negative is undone. And then I like to put the negatives to ground it out onto here. This is a 10mm bolt. It's just right here on the fender wall. I ground everything to here to this bolt, so go ahead and put that there. And then the fuse that comes with it, if you still have a fuse right here, go ahead and take it out. So we're on the left side of this fuse box. See these two 10s? There would be a 10 right there, I believe, and a 7.5. Go ahead and take the add a fuse, make sure there's a fuse in it from Alpharex, and we're gonna go ahead and put that into that spot right there. So John from the future here, you know how I said plug it in, I only showed one fuse, so when you take your 10 amp fuse out of here, go ahead and plug it into this as well. So Alpharex provides you with the 5 amp, go ahead and plug your 10 amp in that you took from there, because if you don't, your 4Runner doesn't start, and I accidentally left the other fuse in the other lights, and I was brain farting. So, John from the future, plug your existing fuse into that other fuse. You gotta have 2 fuses in here, and then put it into the fuse tap right here, 10, 10, that other 10, and your 7.5. Put it in there, and then your 4Runner will start. So when doing headlights, I like to leave the protective film on them. So I kind of get them into place a little bit. Protect your paint as much as possible. With these Novas, only one side will have the yellow connector. So on this passenger side right here, I just went ahead and taped this up with electrical tape. And then all your OEM harnesses are just gonna connect. Make sure it's all connected on one side. Again, with this harness over here, we'll have that all connected. You'll go ahead and take these 2 red wires right here, and you're gonna connect it to this little brown wire down here. Side, both the driver's side and the passenger side, just get one. So this will go in on that one, on that brown wire. You can unravel this whole wire loom right here, and then send one other one over to the passenger side. And then before you button everything up, I like to make sure that everything works. And it does. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and button everything up. I left this one as amber for you guys. You're actually able to reach it decently easy, so I will be able to fix that one and put it back to white light because I want it to be white light afterwards. But I want to see how it is during the daytime, how bright the amber is and how bright the white light is as DRLs in the daytime. And also caveat, there's some bumper ones down here to do to put onto the light, you know, for your bumper to kind of just support itself on the light. I seem to have misplaced those in all the roundabouts of lights that I've done. They weren't on the GTR ones, they're not on these, they're not on my OEM ones. So I have no idea where I put them, but my bumper is chopped up enough and it stays secure. So then if you have them still on yours, just make sure you put that lower bumper guard on the bottom of the lights before securing everything. But the lights work. I'm gonna go ahead, secure them up, and then see how they really are. All right, guys, so now we have the 4Runner in direct sunlight. So I left on the amber on the passenger side, as you can see, and obviously, yes, they're not flickering in real life. It's just how the camera picks it up. But we have the amber on the left side, and we have clear on the right side, and the sun literally directly behind me. So very bright, especially compared to the last generation ones. So you can actually see these ones. It's not like a tube that gets kind of washed out in the sunlight. So it stays pretty bright, man. So we got the white light, and then we have the amber over here. I'll go ahead and put the blinkers on. And we have sequential turn signals. They're doing it opposite, which I've noticed. They're not synced with each other, and I think that has to do with because that has the amber wires hooked up, so don't mind that. But this is what your sequential will look like with direct sunlight hitting it. Super bright. Honestly, like really, really impressed. So now we are going to wait for the sun to go down. We're gonna drive this home. I will not adjust them. So this will just be a first drive with them. We'll see how they act just right out of the box. Yes, my 4Runner is lifted, so I will probably have to adjust a little bit, but we will see how they are at nighttime just straight out of the box. All right, guys, so first impressions of these lights at night. Holy crap, they are bright. Getting onto a on-ramp right here. Good cast to the left. Good cast to the right, and I have not adjusted them at all, like I let you guys know, so they're actually pretty spot on. When we get closer to a wall, I'll show you guys that I should probably bring the passenger side just down a little bit, but I mean, these things, first impressions, holy smokes. Very bright, not blotchy at all, no horrible cutoff. I mean, these things are solid. And even with all these lights around, as we get up to the toll bridge, horrible lights would start to get, you know, kind of washed out a little bit, but you can still see these in front. Nice white light, so it's making all the reflectors light up. passenger side is up a little bit, but 2-lane little bridge right here, and you can see the light. And of course, camera doesn't pick it up the best, but you can see a bunch of light over here, all the light over there, and even down here towards the left-hand side, it is not like a horrible cutoff at all. Super solid. And now with no other car pollution, you guys can see the light. All right, so going down this road with no light pollution, you can see how the passenger side is a little bit higher, but I rolled down my window and you can see to the left-hand side the light output over there. And then of course I have 5% tint on that side, so you can't really see that well, but it does cast over here really well. And then roll down the window and then you can actually see out that way. So the light performance, guys, is really, really impressive. We'll go ahead and get outside once I park it, but you can see again the passenger side just a little bit higher, so I definitely need to lower that side down. And then we'll turn on the brights. Brights are decent. Park right here. So the brights will probably fill that up, turn the brights off. Brights actually shoot up pretty high. Turning left again. You can see pretty good while turning. Turn our brights on. Brights off. So on the camera, I can realize that it's not picking it up, but it goes all the way down there to the trees and the little bit of grass down there. And that's probably easily, man, 300-400 feet away, I'd want to say. So I turned the one side back to white light. It's super dewy tonight, so this is actually kind of cool. You can see how the lights are casting through right there. Zoom all the way out. Pretty freaking solid. I like that it's dewy. That's kind of cool. So you could see the beams in it right there. Then this is what your blinkers will look like at night. So we got the sequential turns. And now they're all lined up with each other. So when I had it on amber before, it wasn't really lined up that well, but now it is. Go ahead, turn on the brights. I'm gonna turn on the brights. Turn them off. You guys can see when the brights turn on how it kind of flickers inside, just kind of like lifts it up or lifts it down. I'm not sure what it does inside, but it does that, so it'll pitch two of them up higher. All right, and so I have it locked. I'm gonna wait for the DRLs to shut off, but this is the brightness of just the DRLs. Super bright at night. All right, and here is your unlock feature. So back in the garage, and I just wanna show you one thing on how intense the high beams are when they flick on. So just take a listen to this. You hear that like thud. And then these things also have their own fan inside too, which you can hear. So guys, overall first impressions of these Alpharex Nove G2 headlights, they're awesome, man. They are really awesome, and I would hope so, because they do cost a pretty penny versus other lights that I've had before on this 4Runner, but these are by far, and I'm not just saying this at all, these are by freaking far the best headlights that I have ever put on this 4Runner. So the cutoff right out of the box was very, very good. I may lower the passenger side just a little bit to level it out, make it nice and straight, but no cars flashed me out of the box. The 4Runner is lifted, so no cars flashed me. The cutoff was pretty decent. It was just a little bit higher on the passenger side. Down by the wheel wells, there was no harsh cutoff down on the side of the vehicle. I could see on the side of the vehicle, no problem without the fog lights on. These headlights, they're absolutely awesome. You can choose between amber, white light DRL, which was really nice. The startup feature is cool. It's not over the top. All around great package. And speaking of packaging, the packaging too for the Alpharex headlights were just top notch. I had mentioned about that in the beginning of the video. And then I also mentioned that to a contact at Alpharex who provided me with these lights. I said, dude, the packaging on these is next level. And they said, yeah, we appreciate that because we actually stepped up our packaging, better styrofoam in it, better tape and everything too. So Alpharex is really trying to be like the premium headlights in the scene, in the industry. And I could tell that these Nove G2s, they are like, man, incredible. So you guys, if you're interested in them, link down in the description, and I will catch you all in the next video. All right, see you later.